All right, we're back. Let's try and get everyone in
Okay.
here.
Yeah.
All right. So we're back with Farmgirl in the City,
Yeah.
Marjorie Roden,
Yeah.
and you've kind of got a double thing going on here. You're selling your work, but it's to go to different work that you do.
Yes, I'm a filmmaker, and so the funds I'm raising here will be going into other films that I'm making. The one I'm concentrating on right now is a fantasy called I Know You by Heart. I started shooting it last summer. Of course, my lead actor moved to Vancouver, which meant, originally it was going to be a short film. But all my friends read the script and they were like, this has to be longer. And so the way I'm writing it, because it's about a couple who reincarnate into situations that just aren't good for them to get together, I'm putting other actors in at different ages of this male character.
Okay.
So I have 3 outstanding actors lined up for that, and I'm just trying to raise the money so we can shoot it this summer.
So what kind of stuff are you selling here?
Oh, the stuff I'm selling?
Let's see what we can...
Okay.
There we are.
Okay, well, I have rice bags right there. They're therapeutic ones. You put them in the microwave for like a minute and a half, 2 minutes, around there. I have neck ones, and I also have knee ones as well, or wrist ones. And with those smaller ones, I've actually sectioned off the bags a bit so that all the rice doesn't like go to one side or the other. So it's a little bit easier on the person. So the neck bags are $20 each. The other smaller ones are $15, or if you want to get one of each, it's $30 for the 2 of them. So, and I also have dog coats that I'm making.
Dog coats?
Yeah, dog coats. I call it pause play cosplay. And actually, a couple of years ago, a lady bought one for her cat.
Okay.
Jasper.
So not exclusively for dogs?
Not exclusively for dogs, no. And he was an elderly cat, so he's up in kitty heaven now. But that was what he was wearing for the last little while of his life, because I guess he had difficulty like with touching things and that, and so that was something that was helpful for him. I also have bookmarks there from my web series Pre-Flight Launch from the first season. And I also have some knit headbands as well. And those, like, ones like it are going to be seen in I Know You by Heart, and also another web series I'm trying to put together called Trappist 1 or Bust.
So you kind of started answering what I was going to ask, which is that do these two, creating film and then creating these, do they overlap at all?
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. The T-shirts I have, the Silver Panther one with the cat on it, and the Morrison Medical Academy one, and the Black Ops one, they're all related to Pre-Flight Launch. They were some that I designed originally for fundraising, and I'm still finishing that one up. I have 2 episodes left to finish editing, so I'm kind of trying to get those done before I officially do any more work with any of my other projects. But that being said, I'm still working on getting the others done, getting things prepared, and preparing my actors and saying, here's the script.
So with Farmgirl in the City Productions, like that's your film company?
Yes, it is.
Did Farmgirl in the City, like, does your work reflect that sort of attitude, I guess?
A little bit sometimes, yes, a little bit.
Like in what way? Like, were you born in a rural community and now
yes.
you live in the city?
Yeah, I grew up on a farm just outside of Prince Albert, Saskatchewan. And before I left Prince Albert, I actually took a media arts course. And we had to make up a business name. So I came up with Farmgirl in the City Productions. And I had a prof said, oh, that's a dumb name. You can never use it. Yeah, right.
You showed him.
Yeah, I'm using it, whether he likes it or not. And I'm making stuff. I mean, am I like, as well known as J.J. Abrams or anyone like that? Heck no. But I'm trying to get my stuff out there, and the thing is, I have a lot of people who are local who are starting out as actors. And I love working with them and helping them, kind of find their own way with things too. In fact, there's a series of 3 short films I did for a film class. They're kind of autobiographical about things I'd gone through myself. And this little girl I had acting it, Cameron Benoit, she has really done well. She's got like some professional roles in that since then. And also in Pre-Flight in the second season, a young lady by the name of Diana Fauché was in that. And she's been doing really well too. And although the episode hasn't been seen yet, because I'm still editing it, there were a couple of brothers in there, and the younger one has been really, well, I mean, both of them are doing well, but he's been, like, that was his first kick at the can of doing something with lines, and he's just been doing fantastic as well. So
That's awesome.
yeah, so I mean, I feel very thrilled when I see any of my actors or actresses go on to do other things, bigger and better things. Do I hope I get to that level? Yes, of course I do. Of course I do, And I've actually done a little bit with some of the true crime series here in town, with I Knew My Murderer and also with The Killer Connections.
Okay.
So I'm starting to get a little bit going there too with that. Truth be told, it was one of my acting checks that helped pay for me being here today.
So they feed into one another, I guess.
Oh, yes, totally. Yeah. And, I mean, I kind of got to keep a business mind when doing this stuff. I mean, it's great to say, oh, yes, do what you love. Well, that sometimes costs a bit. I mean, making the costumes, for instance.
Do you make the costumes?
For a lot of them, yes.
Wow.
Yeah, I do a lot of that. I mean, admittedly, what I'm wearing today, no, I did not make that. I bought this at Stitches. No, not Stitches. The other one, Urban Planet. But I mean, even so, I mean, I do a lot of my own designs for things. And I mean, I enjoy doing that kind of thing. And I like...
You must be very busy.
I am. I'm also a student at the U of M, so yeah, I joke because sometimes... I choke sometimes too. But I joke about what I'd give for one boring day.
Right.
Because I'm always busy doing stuff. But I think if I had a boring day, I'd be very annoyed. So I'm fine with keeping busy with stuff.
I have to ask about your pin. You're a FanQuest founder?
Yes, this is the first year of the convention. And all of us who have merch purchase here got one.
Okay.
Or were allowed to get one. So... yeah, I grabbed mine this morning, and my friend Twyla she also has one because her and I are sharing the table together. So she has her lovely jewelry there, which is gorgeous. I don't know how soon the turnaround time is for this podcast coming out.
It's out right now, and it will remain out.
Okay, well, if you're in the area, get her jewelry, please. All the jewelry is $2 for $20, or the rings are $5 each. So, I mean, she's got some gorgeous stuff there. And, yeah.
Great.
So, I have to put a plug in for her.
No, please.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why we're here.
Yeah.
So Farmgirl in the City Productions, if you're at FanQuest, come check it out. It's right across from the Super Gamer booth. Anywhere else someone could, where can they find like your productions?
Oh, my productions? Well, most of them are up online on YouTube under my channel Movie Mouse. All one word, all lowercase letters. Of course, you might find some videos that I shot from the TV of the recent Oilers playoff run. Those are very short videos, and yes, they're terrible quality. And yes, I know, breaking copyright rules. but I mean, I just have like little segments up with those. But the main things I have up there, I have Pre-Flight Launch up there, seasons 1 and 2, and also the trilogy of the films that I did with Cameron Benoit. She's in 2 of them, and the third one is one kind of before her little character is born. Because like I said, they're autobiographical. They were very, how can I put it? They were something that I had been wanting to write for a while. It was about my own background, my own, dealing with things in my own family. And so I actually, the first one, I recreated a similar scene to something my mother went through right after I was born. And, I mean, were they hard to do? Yes. But when I did the first film in the series I actually filmed was one called, what was it? I should remember. A Weird Saturday. And I wrote about what happened when I first saw my father. Now, my parents were divorced. I knew he was not the greatest cat around. I knew this from things my mother had told me. And about a week before this happened, she showed me a sketch that she'd done of him. And anyway, I was like, wow, okay. She said, yeah, the photos that we have don't really look that much like him. And a week later, we're in the bank. I was like about 12, I guess, at the time, 10 or 12. And I'm sitting there, and this person comes and sits beside me. And I looked at him, and looked again, and realized it was my father. And all he was doing was staring at my mother. That's all he was doing. He didn't notice this kid sitting beside him. He was just staring at my mother. And, of course, I started staring at her too, but it wasn't with the same look. I mean, with him, it was kind of like he thought they were still together or something. I don't know what was going through his head. But I was just there kind of thinking, Mom, turn around, help, 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 kind of thing. And when she turned around and she saw us there, I mean, she was pretty horrified to see this herself, but she just did a little hand signal to get me over. And the reason I did this film was because at the time I was taking a course with Shireen Jarrett, and we had to do a silent film. Now that was a scene that was done in silence, because of course we were in the bank. And I was too scared to say, Mom, is this my dad sitting beside me? Because I didn't want to alert him, and I knew he was vicious. I knew that about him. And so that's what we did for this short film. And a lot of people it really spoke to a lot of people, because there's more than one broken family out there where there's things like that have happened. So the trilogy kind of looks at that. But they were hard to do in one way, but another way it kind of got things off my chest a bit too. Mm-hmm. And I've got a lot of compliments on those, so I might do more in that area, I don't know. But right now I'm kind of thinking, okay, I want to get this fantasy one done, this kind of one that's a little bit more fun. And I mean, it has its ups and downs in it, but it's something that like people have been reading the script and they're like, yeah, we've got to do this, So I just want to raise some money so I can, afford the little things like, I don't know, insurance, feeding my cast and crew, things like that, and location fees in some cases. So those most independent films in town, a lot of places are understanding, which is wonderful, which is why Winnipeg is such a great place to shoot in. So,
as far as creative outlets, I mean, obviously, it's very clear how a movie could be an outlet for someone.
Yeah.
But like making these kind of things, like is there anything that you feel like you put yourself into it? I guess.
I've been injured a lot, okay. So the rice bags were definitely something I thought. Well, it's always nice to get something that looks a little bit cheerful. And I have ones there that have Spider-Man, Wonder Woman, the Starship, Enterprise, those kind of things, Superman, things that inspire people. And last weekend I was at KeyCon, and the only character type ones I had at that point were the Wonder Woman ones, and then there's one that was Wonder Woman. I had Wonder Woman, Batgirl, and Supergirl on it. And those were the ones that sold the fastest. And so I used a little bit of extra money that I had, then this one little paycheck that I got. And so I got some other material so I could make some with some other superheroes on them and stuff like that, and have some Star Wars ones there and things like that. So I've had some interest, and I think some will be moving probably fairly soon, knock on wood, So, yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Yeah, and once again, Farm Girl in the City Productions, Marjorie Roden. Check it out. Buy some stuff.
Please.
Bye, everyone.